So deliciously herby spinach salmon parcels. Filo pastry is one of my favourite things to work with.
You love filo.
I do love filo. You've noticed.
I've noticed.
I'm going to chop some onion if you could do some garlic for me, Mike. So now I'm going to do it nice and fine. And all we're going to do is make our filling first of all. And then I'll give you some tips on using filo pastry. But honestly, once you've got the hang of it, it's so, so easy.
After I started cooking with you on this show, I use so much more filo. On it, seriously, because you love it, and you reminded me of just how good it is.
Well, I just love that it's so light. You know, I don't feel heavy after eating it as you can do with some other types of pastry, you know? Okay, so I've got my pan nice and hot. In goes some extra virgin olive oil, and really all I want to do is soften my onion, my garlic. And then we're going to use the herbs. I'm going to use a combination of dill, parsley, and chives. Dill, I think, is one of my favourite herbs, and I feel like it's really underused.
I mean, I love it.
It's gorgeous.
And not just fish. Everyone, yes, dill, salmon, great combination. But, like, it's so diverse. It's one of my favourite oils as well. And a powder.
Yeah.
Like, dehydrate it, turn it into a powder, mix it with salt, seasoning.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
Love it.
I always put it in my potato salad, actually. That's the other place I love dill.
Yeah. I get very passionate about dill.
And actually, it's one of the herbs that I think does work really well dried.
Yes.
I don't like all green herbs dried. I don't think they're, you know, I usually think the fresh is much better.
Yeah, dries very well.
Okay, that is looking gorgeous. Now, sometimes I've got to admit, when I do this in a rush, I just use the raw spinach, but you don't want too much of the water coming out into your filling. So when I've taking more time to do it, I do just saute it off just to get some of that water out of the spinach. And don't be scared to use lots of spinach, especially when you're cooking it like this, because it does just wilt down. You think, oh my goodness.
Nothing gives me more joy than those social media memes of spinach being cooked by like the absolute sack going into a pot, and then you're left with like a little ramekin. It's true. It's true.
It is. You get a mouthful. So that is just nicely wilting down. And into our bowl is going to go our lovely fresh herbs. I'm just going to put in the zest of a lemon. I'm not putting the juice in because, again, I don't want too much liquid in this filling.
This would be a beautiful base for gorgeous butter.
He's always trying to put butter in my
Seriously,
recipes.
Some softened butter in there.
No need for butter in this recipe, mate. A little bit of salt, that'll make you happy. I've put some salt in there. In goes my spinach mix. See, look, that spinach went down to absolutely nothing. Give it a stir. Okay, I'm just going to let that cool down just a little, and we are ready to start working with our filo. So, Mike, if I could get you to put some Glad Bake on here, just so that that is not going to stick, and I will take the filo. So don't get it out the packet until you're ready to start working with it. That's really the trick. You can just put a dampened tea towel over the top if it's taking you a little while, but I'm going to work pretty quickly here. What you could do for me, Mike, is pop that into a bowl and just whisk it up. We're just going to egg wash the top of these. I've got some olive oil that I'm just going to brush over my sheet of filo. So it's all good fats that are going in here.
Of course,
Michael.
Of course.
Do you ever get called Michael?
I do, usually when I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I was feeling like your mother there for a second. Okay, so second sheet goes on top. I'm going to put a nice generous spoonful of my greens mix here onto my filo. Salmon fillet over the top. And I'm just going to season my salmon with some salt and pepper. Brush a little more of your extra virgin olive oil just around the edges, because that's just what's going to stick this pastry together. So remember that filo really doesn't have any fat in it at all, so you want to add your own fat to it. And then the way I do it is I just fold over the edges, a little bit more oil down the sides to make sure it sticks, and then roll it up like you're wrapping a present. And on it goes onto our baking tray.
Cigar.
It is.
It's like a salmon cigar.
Oh, you just gave me a new recipe title.
Yeah.
There we go.
I couldn't envision how you're bringing it together. That is Cute as. And you know what? It's actually quite easy, right? Especially using this salmon.
It's so easy, yeah. So I'm using frozen salmon. This is one of your best sources of those anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. So there's no doubt that, you know, these are fats that we need more of in our diet. They're good for your heart, they're really good for your brain, they're anti-inflammatory if you've got arthritis or any of those kind of inflammatory conditions. This is just something we should all be eating more of. So all I've done is I've thawed them, cut the skin off, but you can also actually leave the skin on. But because it's in filo, you know, we're not getting that sort of crispy skin, so that's why I've cut them off. But, you know, if you want to just leave the skin on, you can.
I do love the skin.
I knew you would.
Yeah,
I just had a feeling.
But I love the fact that, you know, they pre-portion, super easy, keep them in your freezer, and when you need them, you've got them.
Yeah, no food waste because it's in your freezer. So when we've rolled all of these up, we're going to egg wash the top. I like to do a little sprinkle of black sesame seeds or poppy seeds or something like that on the top. And then into the oven they go. And then I'm just going to make a little very simple yogurt, dill, lemony kind of sauce to go with it. Super, super easy. And it's going to get the whole family eating more fish. What's not to love about this? It's like a little pie, or what did you call them? Cigars.
Yeah, it's like a salmon cigar. I love it. It's beautiful. Very elegant.
Nice. So all I'm going to do is with a nice sharp knife, chop them in half so that you can see the gorgeous filling.
That's beautiful. And like cooking them like this as well, that fish is going to be so moist and juicy, right?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. It's a way of getting those greens in, the herbs, and of course I'm adding more greens, being me. So I like it just with a fresh salad because, you know, you've got the creaminess of that salmon, the lovely herb filling, and then we've just got our very simple yogurt, lemon, dill sauce. Pop that on the side. We're going to have a taste test.
Oh, no. Absolutely. I've been waiting for this one.
You weren't waiting to be asked, were you?
Watching the oven cook.
Please, go.
Look at that. Juicy, moist, big hit of lemon, which I love with fish. One of the best. Love that. Stealing that. Coming to a restaurant soon.